Hey, greetings. My name is Coach Mark, and as a educational consultant, motivational speaker, as well as transformational coach, I know the power of learning and sharing those learned experiences with others. I recently had the opportunity to travel to South Africa, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. And here are the top 10 things that I learned on my vacation.
All right, lesson number 3 of things that I learned in South Africa. So, I have to be honest and say that I had heard the term apartheid. The first time that I heard it was on not the Cosby Show, but what was that show? It was A Different World. And they had a few episodes that dealt with apartheid. I heard of it and I knew that it had to do something with racism and so forth. But if you would have asked me what apartheid was, I couldn't tell you what it is. Similar to a lot of people that's here in the States or in the US, is we've probably heard of the terminology, but really don't know what it is. So apartheid is basically has the word, it means apartness. The African word, but basically means apartness, segregation. It is the system of legislation that pretty much upheld segregation against non-white citizens of South Africa. And reflective of this legislation took place when the National Party took office in 1948. And while there were laws on the books, when this legislation came, it pretty much enforced those policies that had been on the books for all these years. So you saw a heightened sense of segregation and separatism and so forth that was reflective in the society because it gave permission for segregation and those laws to be enforced. This did not end until 1990 and 1991. Think about it. I mean, this is almost 30 years in my lifespan that apartheid, segregation, was abolished or ended. Now, that's similar to here in the U.S. We still have the civil rights movement and those things that were reflected through the 60s and early 70s. But just think, in 1991, they were still enforcing laws of segregation and separatism in the country. So I think what was eye-opening to me was the fact that the residue of that still lingers on, because it's still in most of these, of the people that live there, adults' lifespan, that they were literally apart. So if you were my age, 45, or 45, then you understood the devastating effects of what segregation and apartheid and that struggle to be free from that and all of those things. So when I talked to some South Africans and they were talking about their parents' experiences and some of their experiences and how they feel about whites and Europeans, it's understandable because they lived it. You know, my mom recently, one time we were talking, and she said, I've never watched The Color of Purple, which is a classic, one of my favorite movies. I'm like, you haven't seen The Color of Purple? I used to watch it in your house all the time because it used to come on HBO all the time. And she had never seen it. And while she has plenty of white friends, while she has all those other things, because she experienced the civil rights movement up close and personal, was treated in certain ways, some of that still lingers, and those feelings and emotions. Now, imagine, my mom is 65, and imagine living in South Africa and apartheid laws that said there has to be a separation, that you had to be treated, and they were enforced, only ended in 1990 and 91, and then it took years, a few years, for it to really just kind of just break, that system to break. So yeah, it was real eye-opening to me in that experience. So that was one of the things I learned, what apartheid was and the history of apartheid in South Africa.